Well, I'm thrilled to be here with you and really interested to get your take on innovation. It's such a buzzword now, particularly in healthcare. Everyone's trying to jump on the innovation bandwagon, whatever that is. Give us your thoughts on what that even means.
Innovation is a complex dynamic when you think about it. Everybody wants to innovate. I was on a panel yesterday, and I had each of the panelists identify themselves with a word, one word. One person said catalyst. One person said fire starter. Another person said disruptor. And the conversation congealed around the notion, do we all have to be catalysts? Or do we all have to be disruptors? So to me, innovation is about a mix. If you think about a mixing board or a sounding board, it's really about crafting the correct balance of insights and information and human equity too. You don't want all of the same type of thinker. For example, Intermountain may be high on innovation, but maybe low on some other aspect. And you have to be able to mix that blend. So that's real important. Everybody has an accelerator or a collaboratory, and the problem there is that they often follow a generic model. So think about that. The model is to create innovation, but the methodology is generic. So, and I know generic is a hot word with Intermountain, but we'll get to that later. But to me, that's really interesting. The methodology itself is essential. Now, the other thing for me is that we mistake consensus for innovation in the sense that if I want a White House and you want a Red House, what a lot of life science and pharma and hospital systems will do is make a pink house. Because intellectually, they create an average. But that average is wrong. It's not wrong. And that's the nature of innovation. Innovation is not about that center. Innovation is about finding that outlier, the interesting thought, and then moving everybody all over to that thought and creating a new circle. That's the hard part. So, it's really finding that. The other interesting thing for me is that ideas are fragile. Everybody sort of defines innovation in the context of, let's say, Bezos, right? Or Steve Jobs, or Elon Musk. He's the prototypical innovator. These guys are bulls in a china shop. They come in and said, I'm going to the moon, or I'm going to Mars. Healthcare is not like that. Oftentimes, ideas are fragile because they deal with life and death. Ideas sometimes come from patients, a voice who's often not heard in the context of our business. So you have to ask yourself, is your innovation model going to look for the guy with the big voice or the gal with the big voice, Elon Musk, or are you going to find your innovation through someone like Nikola Tesla, truly an amazing guy, the inventor of AC current, but he was a very frail man, and his idea was stepped on by people like Thomas Edison. So to me, that dynamic is extraordinary. We have to find the ideas, we have to manage them, we have to coddle them. And one other thought on innovation, which I think is very important, is people mistake innovation for implementation. There is a lot of great stuff right here today that works, that if we implement, it'll change the world. Telemedicine, as an example. What you're doing with compounding and generic drugs and looking at new pricing models, that's not a new idea. In fact, the systems are already in place. It's implementing that system in a new healthcare context that's important. So, yes, we could all seek nanoparticle-mediated early cancer detection.
Which we all are.
Of course, we all are, right? But that's hard as hell. And is our money best spent? Some of it is. But implementing a powerful telemedicine system to help rural America or sub-Saharan Africa could really be the transformative aspect of innovation that really lies in the context of implementation.